Yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Desired Over Fun with me, Duns. And today we will talk about your looter shooter genre called Worldslayer is the newest expansion from Outriders that have been released like on April 2021. And today I just like play more, maybe more than 200 hours on PS5. Got platinum on those content, the base game content, New Horizon, and now Worldslayer. And I can say to you, to all of you, it's like basically Worldslayer is just the same content if you compare to the Outriders base game. It's like people can fly, just add the new number on this new expansion. Like if you play the best game content, you will find the 15 difficulty tier, and today in Worldslayer it has 40 difficulty tier called Apocalypse tier. So in literally they add 25 new difficulty tier on this expansion. And of course, you will get the new piece of armor set on every class and universal set on every class, and they just revamp it like a week later from the first day for Slayer release. And they not only revamp the game, but they also nerfing my build, guys, so I can talk it later. And of course, you will find the newest endgame content called Ataria Gratar, and this is the place that you will almost spend your time for on this game. And like I said, they just adding the new number on this expansion because there's a new passive skill tree called Pax Class 3, and they add like 200 level of ascension level. It's just like boosting your basic perks like close range damage, long range damage, armor piercing, or anomaly damage, just like that. They just adding the new number on that. But for me, Outriders Slayer is surprisingly fun. It's a total mess. It's a bullet festival. It's like the game directed by Michael Bay. It's full of explosion, full of gory scene on that, because you will see like a body split in half because you shoot it at with anomaly skill, just like that. It's a bullet fest. It's a total mess, guys. It's fun to play. It's surprisingly fun, and I literally can say it's devastatingly fun, like love-hate relationship. Because at the same point, I hate this game a lot, but in just 5 minutes later, I got my perfect equipment, or the perfect mod, or the god roll. If you watch another YouTube channel, they said a god roll on this mod, Apocalypse mod. And I just like the 5 minutes later, I want to grind again for nothing. Outrider Worldslayer is supposed to be a good game, maybe more than good game. It's a better game from the best game. Outriders is surprisingly good, surprisingly fun, but there's a big hole that I want to talk to you in this review, guys. The first thing first is you can't really build your class with your own base, right? And this the source problem of the looter shooter genre in this gaming industry, right? Like a Destiny 2 or Division 2 share the same problem. That's why you grind a lot, like hundreds or thousand hours in the endgame content to get your perfect piece of equipment or your perfect piece of build, right? And Worldslayer itself is the same problem, have the same problem, because your equipment or the build variations are purely obtained from gacha or multi-layered random number generator. And in the other words, it's pure depends on your luck. Like the first build on your game is what game offered to you, right? You can decide it first. Like I want to play like with Firepower Twixter. But in reality, the game itself offered me to play with anomaly build. The game itself, 50 hour of the game, always offered me this piece of equipment. And like 90 hour, I get my first death shield that changed the game entirely, because the fortress I need, and I nearly at the end of the game, like I don't want to play this game anymore, and suddenly the death shield come and it changed my game entirely, and I eager to play again. In total, there are 54 weapons in this game in total. So my chance to get another death shield, it's 1 to 54, guys. My chance is 1 to 54, right? It's really suck, guys. That's just the odds for your weapon lock drop or weapon drop loot, right? And then we talk about the armor piece. Can you imagine? There are total 26 armor sets, which are divided into 5 speeds in each set. In addition to the armor set, there are, in Worldslayer, there are also 5 removable or standalone headgear that can be used in all classes. So, of the total of 26 sets, there are a total of 6 sets of armor specific to each class and 4 universal sets like Trigger Twitch or Chestplate of the Martyr that can be used in all classes. These 4 universal sets will be included in the loot drop in all classes. Then, what are my chances when I want to look for armor chest piece that support fire power builds? 1 compared to 50, guys. 1 to 54 to weapon and 1 to 55 for your headgear, and 1 to 50 to your armor piece. And if you don't want to exploit the game with the Worldslayer update content, and then you need like hundreds or maybe 300 hour in Tarja Gratar to get your specific build. And if this is not enough, if you think people can fly is already enough for those odds, for the worst drop loot ever in looter shooter genre, and this in Worldslayer there's a mod called Apocalypse mod, and this so random drop that you cannot decide what the best place to get your god roll. There is no guarantee where you got that mods, where you get that the god roll for your build, right? And it's really sucks. Your progress depends on your own luck on this game. Yep. This is the second most problem to Outriders, even in this newest expansion Worldslayer. And as many players complain for the absence of loadout system, guys. In Worldslayer, they are still proud of this absence or of loadout system, or the one button to switch from one build to the another, guys. Can you imagine that? Yes, just imagine that people can fly thinking right now. They provide a variety of build for each class that made from total like 30 nodes of class 3, 5 nodes of packs class 3, to hundreds max of ascension level, and then they those are 5 gear of equipment, 3 weapon that we can bring to the battlefield, 24 modes in total, and they still not giving us the loadout system, guys. Can you imagine that? All of these mass, right? And this skill too, right? And this passive skill tree, and your inventory not supported by a loadout system. Can you imagine that? How the F they not thinking about this? I don't I am speechless to this RPG game, to this looter shooter game, that all of this is a number and you can switch to another build because this too complicated to switching over and over. Like, man, if you play Monster Hunter series, there's a lot out that you can easy to switch to play with, like Insect Glaive, then you play with a bow, then you play with longsword. And on Worldslayer you can't do this. You have to do it manually, like this. You reset the tree and you reset the packs cluster and you reset, like maybe you all played with the 100 level of ascension, like maybe 100 or 150, and you have to fulfill it again manually before you play with the news or new equipment build, right? And then later I realized and started thinking why people can fly not applying the loadout system to this game. Because yes, you know the answer, because we can't really build our class at our own pace, right? Why did you need the loadout system when the one build that you desired at most requires hundreds or thousand hours of grindfest, right? Why do you need that loadout system when you only play with one build? Because you cannot switch your build to another build because you don't have proper equipment or proper mods if you compare to your first build, right? Why have to you change that build? You need 100 hours more to get the perfect to just one build, and then you want to switch, right? Why do you need that? God damn it. At the first time I played the game on 1 year ago, I thought Outrider is a game that have RPG or roleplay essence on every class, like Devastator for like a tanking style, or Technomancer like supportive class, like so the class can heal the other and it's right them, and Pyromancer is like a DPS with damage over time style or DOT style, and then we have a Trickster that like a glass cannon DPS with a specialty on a close range damage. That's the first thought I watched the Outrider trailers. So it needs like a teamwork for this play, but at the end of the game, at the end game content, there is no such things of RPG essence. There's no such thing of roleplay essence on this game. All of this game is like all out attack, guys. Every player who played Outrider and Outriders Worldslayer is aiming to the best damage output build, how to kill enemy as fast as possible and land the damage output as big as possible, right? And then people can fly with Outriders Worldslayer and Outrider content, giving us the middle class tree that you never use, guys. And what is purpose of this build or this tree, guys? Look at that. In the middle of this game, of this tree, it's like every class you played, like Pyromancer, Devastator, or Technomancer, have the same 3 cores of build: firepower, anomaly, and damage mitigation or survival class, survival style, right? But I can bet on YouTube channel there's no one tutorial to play the best defensive output build, right? or the best survivability output, or the best survival class ever on YouTube. Every YouTube channel always trying to show us the tutorial how to make the best firepower build, or the best anomaly build, or the best firepower that boosts by anomaly build, right? Just two of them. There's no single survivability class on YouTube channel tutorial. Like, why they provide us with that? And the answer is the same, like first major concern for me, because we can't build our class with our own pace, right? You can't reach those firepower build, the best firepower build in at the first try, at the first glance, or the first blink of an eye. You can't do that. You can't get it. It's just like a few chance. You play like a 30 hour of the game and you get your perfect build. It's just a few, or a rare chance you get that. I played like 90 hours to just get my first death shield, and it's still not the best firepower output damage on my trickster, right? That's because you can't have your own build at your own pace, right? But there's a lot of modes, or there's a lot of skills, a lot of build is not used by this grand scheme of Outriders Worldslayer, guys. And after those three, my major concern and my major ranting on this entire game of Worldslayer and Outrider, if this is my final verdict, Outriders Worldslayer is worth for you to play like a day one, or even maybe like when the game or the server is about to dead or about to close. Yeah, I know many player, many gamer will say Outrider is a dead game, but it's up to you guys, right? And after all of this mess, Outriders Worldslayer still presents the destruction that can be enjoyed by gamer, especially if you're already familiar with the core of mechanics, or core of the grindfest of the grain scheme of looter shooter genre, right? And if you are a fan of the earlier looter shooter genre like a Division or Destiny series, Outriders Worldslayer will be your maybe the next destination if you don't play this game at the day one, right? And indeed, Outrider give us the satisfaction of killing and leveling enemy through the rituals or chaotic, and at the same time shattered action that you cannot be forgotten, just like that. Yeah, although it can be compared to a Monster Hunter series, Outriders Worldslayer has the same addiction, right? Yes, the same addiction like a torturing monster or enemies with as much damage as possible in the shortest possible time ever, right? You will back to this game again and again because you finally get your perfect build, right? Enjoyment like this is what allow players to come back again, and so on to the trial of Target Radar, even though 5 minutes earlier they had intended to be retired, right? Or even want to sell this game if you play it on the physical disc. So if you enjoy our content, we would like to review on another game or the upcoming game that will be released in this year or the upcoming 2023. So please drop your like or subscribe or share if you like this content. So this is Duns on Desired Over Fun sign out. See you at another review, guys. Thank you.